Hello. I've had a couple of requests asking how I modified my Futaba radio for FPV, so I thought I'd make a video showing what I did. I bought this radio about 10 years ago when I got into radio-controlled airplanes again. I had to give it up because my job took me on the road, so it's almost brand new. Unfortunately, one of the first modifications I had to make was the battery here. This battery was stored in not the best place, and it's a NiCad and it won't hold its charge anymore. What I decided to do, since I had the option to, was with my goggles, it came with a plug. Where's the plug? Right here. That plugs into the Futaba radio, into the trainer port. So I decided to power the goggles off of the radio. Well, the battery is only 900 milliamp hour and the goggles draw 300. So I got this Turnigy LiPo transmitter battery. It's 2.65 amp hours, which is pretty impressive for such a small battery. It's actually smaller than the original battery, which is only 900. And it comes with all the connectors for the different types of radios. This is a JR connector. This is the balance port. This uses a regular servo connector like all Futaba radios. So I was a little worried because it charges up to 12.6 volts just like any other 3-cell LiPo. But I use my balance port thing, balancer here, and it brought the voltage down to 12.3. It still had 95% of the charge. So I tried that, and when I turned it on, it, as you can see, it says 12.3 volts. And I took the back off to make sure there wasn't anything frying back there, and everything seems fine. There's nothing that's getting really hot, so I guess we're good there. Another modification I made, well, first of all, I used the Free Sky or FR Sky or however you pronounce it 2.4 module. A lot of people will ask, why didn't you just stick with the 72 radio instead of the 2.4? It's true, 72 has better range than 2.4. Obviously, it'll go through trees and 2.4 won't. But we have some gentlemen at our club that fly 72 megahertz, and since they assume everyone else is flying 2.4, they don't say anything, and they just turn the radio on, and I didn't want to risk it. Plus, it's hard to find the old 72 megahertz with all the cool features that the 2.4 has now. So this is a well-known and pretty reliable system now. So and it just plugs right in the back. It's really nice. It's got telemetry on it if I need it. So that's what I'm using. The other modification I made, I saw a lot of videos on YouTube where they're showing how to make the head tracker work. And guys used to be a momentary switch. You pull it back and it'd spring back on its own. And a lot of guys were putting rubber bands, and it just looked, I don't know, it wasn't very cool. So I ordered one of these switches. This is a 2-position switch, and it was like $5, which is pretty high for a switch, but it's a Futaba switch, so what are you going to do? And I'll show you what I did to install that. Okay, to install that switch, first thing you have to do is take the back off. So to take the back off, you have to pull the battery out first. Did that. Then you take these screws out. There's one here, down here, and here. And the back will come right off. Just like that. The transmitter board here is still connected to my 72 megahertz antenna, but I'll just leave that sitting here. Right here's a switch that I replaced. To get to it, let's see if I can. Need to pull this. This is the little slider switch here. That has to come out first. Just pull it out and get it out of the way. And then you unscrew these little ferrule things, and I won't do that, but I just wanted to show you how it's soldered in there. There's 3 contacts right there that are soldered. You desolder those, the switch pops out, put the new one in. I don't know if you can see it, but the switch has its pins over to the side instead of down the middle, which is why you can't just go to Radio Shack and buy a switch. It won't fit. So I don't know, you could probably find one of those switches somewhere, but it was just easy to go to Tower Hobbies and get a Futaba switch and put it in there. So you put that in there, reinstall it, put this back, oops. Put the back on, put the screws in, and you're good. I just think that's a lot nicer than an ugly rubber band. Okay, so you can see I've got it on now. I just wanted to show you what I've got going on. Like I said, I've got the trainer port plugged into my goggles here, and the goggles are being powered by the transmitter. I'm still showing 12.1 volts, so there's a little bit of a draw on it right now, which is okay. I got it here next to my FPV airplane. Now right now it's in normal mode. The trainer switch, which would normally be held down by a rubber band, you can now switch it for a head tracker. Pick my goggles up and you can see it moves the camera around. And turn it off. Another thing that's kind of cool you've got these knobs here. So I assigned the head tracker to these knobs, so when the mode is off, the head tracking mode is off, I can still trim the camera by turning the knobs. So if I'm flying and I want to see down for landing or whatever, I can just turn the default setting or whatever. So what it basically does is, when the head tracker's on, like it's on right now, it's looking away. If something happens to the head tracking and I freak out, I can flip the switch and it'll bring it back to dead center. And if I just don't like dead center, I can change dead center. So, just by turning these. So, that is my Futaba T9CAP radio conversion, 2.4 gigahertz, FPV, LiPo battery with the 2-position toggle switch. Thanks for watching.